Numerous times throughout the history of this channel, as well as several times throughout my level speculation videos, specifically for the sequel trilogy, I've expressed some of my concerns with the way that Disney has handled the Star Wars universe. Fortunately, thanks to a couple industry veterans, Disney saw its first universally successful series with The Mandalorian, proving that a good Star Wars story doesn't need to directly tie into the Skywalker Saga, but sure benefits from the use of already established character arcs, such as the Mandalorians and the Empire. Hey everyone, Logan here, and today's video is basically going to finish up this DLC speculation series for the time being. Now, next week will be a full recap video of all the potential DLC options that TT Games may release alongside the Skywalker Saga, potentially later this year and all throughout 2021. After that, we're going to be taking a look at some character packs that might get released, introducing some new characters into the game that don't quite fit into a full DLC, such as Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order and Iden Versio from Battlefront 2. So if you're interested in watching those videos later on, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Since we moved away from the anthology films such as Rogue One and Solo and started diving deeper into numerous Star Wars series, I've tried to make these level speculations more grounded, since there's often numerous episodes and a handful of seasons. With The Mandalorian Season 2 still set to release this fall, as far as we know, there might be additional content included that I don't discuss today, but The Mandalorian is an interesting DLC option, especially considering that the only way to unlock the Razor Crest in-game as of right now is to buy the set with the secret code. How secret that will be has yet to be confirmed itself. Out of all the potential DLC options that I've made videos on so far, I have to say that The Mandalorian has been near the top of my list, and figured that I should save it for the last video considering it is one of the most recent additions to the Star Wars universe. Now, in previous DLC speculation videos, I've designed about 4 or 5 potential levels that we could see included within the expandable content, but for the purposes of this video, I'm only going to be discussing 3 with a heavy emphasis on Navarro, as the planet is visited numerous times throughout the series, not to mention that it's the home base for the Mandalorians that we've seen thus far. If by chance we don't receive a Mandalorian DLC in the future, I think the best option to include the Mandalorian into the Skywalker Saga would be through the bounty hunter missions. For that to work, we would have to travel to Navarro in order to accept the bounty contract, and then fly to the actual planet at which the bounty is located. After acquiring the bounty, they're frozen in carbonite and then delivered over to Greef Karga in exchange for credits, or in this case, studs, potentially even kyber bricks. Hopefully we'll get a lot more Mandalorian content than just this though, but I believe this would be an awesome way to introduce the Mandalorian into the actual game. Before we get into Season 1 of The Mandalorian, I wanted to state that all comments and opinions reflected in this video come solely from myself. This video is pure speculation and does not reflect any thoughts or comments previously expressed by the game's developers, TT Games. The following level layouts will more than likely not directly reflect what we will see in the actual game, but I make these videos regarding what we could see once the game is released. I should also note that each of these levels will probably be shorter in length than what we'll get with the normal Skywalker Saga levels, but nonetheless, I'm going to talk about what I think should be included in each of these potential DLC options. Now, with all that information out of the way, let's begin with Chapter 1, titled The Child. Chapter 1 would begin on the planet of Navarro after the Mandalorian has spoken to Greef Karga. Traveling to Arvala 7, we encounter a former enslaved Ugnaught named Quill throughout the cutscene, who aids Mando numerous times along his journey. The real mission begins though after reaching the compound where the bounty is held captive. Now, the majority of this mission is spent fighting alongside IG-11 and defeating countless waves of raiders and marauders. After the area is cleared, we find the package for transport is actually a Baby Yoda, the child, but let's be real, everyone calls it Baby Yoda. The second part of this level includes traveling back to Navarro, and after getting the shiny new Beskar armor, we fight through the client's compound to rescue the child, battling stormtroopers until we get outside and the huge Mandalorian battle commences, thus ending Chapter 1. There's a couple episodes in this series that kind of feel like filler, such as the job on Tatooine and the whole Guardians of the Galaxy bad guy sequence, but Chapter 2, Raider Encounter, would focus on one of the more important side quests that introduces us to one of the main characters, Cara Dune. After landing on Sorgan, attempting to lay low after the encounter on Navarro, we're introduced to Cara Dune and are enlisted to help protect a small farming village. This level would just focus on the battle as we head to the Klatooinian Raiders camp as Mando and Cara. Of course, the plan goes astray after infiltrating the camp, as a chase sequence commences with the demonic version of an AT-ST. After leading the vehicle back to the village, defeating the AT-ST Raider is the main objective of this mission, as we attempt to trap it 3 times. After successfully defeating the waves of Klatooinian raiders, the AT-ST falls as Mando saves the day once more. And now that we've met all of the main, or rather important characters in this story, it's time to head back to Navarro for the final showdown, which, skips a lot of episodes, but we're getting to the main points here. Chapter 3, Standoff on Navarro, begins after Mando, Karga, and Dune have made contact with the client once more. Pinned down in the local cantina, we fight numerous waves of stormtroopers, death troopers, and an incinerator trooper after meeting Moff Gideon, who serves as part of the Empire even though their time has passed, which really makes you wonder what else is going on in other parts of the galaxy at this time. Once IG-11 and Baby Yoda join the battle, we enter into the Mandalorian's hideout and through the Gondola Lava River until we find the Empire awaiting our arrival. Interestingly enough, we fight Gideon through an awesome aerial battle, completing the same sequence of grappling onto his TIE fighter several times, dealing damage. After the cycle is repeated a handful of times, Gideon's TIE fighter goes astray as we finish the level. A quick cutscene closes this DLC, as it's revealed Gideon is in possession of the Dark Saber. No matter how TT Games decides to introduce the Mandalorian into the Skywalker Saga, whether it be through a DLC, expansion pack, or through the bounty hunter missions, I think it's safe to say that we should expect his rival in the game at some point. Even though this DLC featured 3 levels, realistically we should probably expect only 1, maybe 2 at most, more than likely with Navarro added as the only new planet to the game, since so much occurs in that area alone during the first season. For the purposes of this speculation video though, I tried to focus on some of the bigger and more important plot lines that helps to explain the Mandalorian's journey thus far. Once Season 2 releases, if it's still on track to release this fall, I might make another DLC speculation for that season, but until then, hopefully this video gave everyone a good idea of what we could potentially expect to see in the future. Of course, it will be a while until we find out some solid information about all the DLCs that the Skywalker Saga will offer, so this is just my own personal thoughts and desires alongside some potential speculation. Let me know below if I happen to miss anything important that you believe should have been included, or if I did a pretty decent job in general. Next week will be a 1-level recap of all the potential DLCs that I've discussed this far, so I'd highly recommend checking that out if you wanted a short synopsis of the videos that I've released over the past several months. Be sure to subscribe to the channel once again to stay up to date on everything related to the Skywalker Saga, and as always, thanks for watching everyone, hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.